This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hello everyone. So very good morning to all. In last session, we started discussing about arrays, right? So I think we seen the array iteration. I mean, how can we access the array values also? We see, and this is what the problem is here with this logic. If how many number of elements are there in the array, that many times we are writing this line. If we have 100 elements in the array, will you write this line 100 times? This is not the good idea, and definitely this is going to be hard coding the logic. So sometimes you may have only one element in the array. Then will you remove all these lines and you will keep only one line for one element? Oh, this is not correct at all. Now we have to repeat the logic by using a loop. How many number of elements you have there, those many number of times I have to repeat the loop, and let us see how can we do the same job. Okay, right here, whatever the logic we had here, I'm keeping completely into the comment here. Let me keep them into comment. So I have an array. This array I want to get and I want to access this. Right now I'm not going to have anything in the txt variable, but if you want you can take a txt variable. Txt equal to, it's an empty initially. Always when you're doing concatenation, we have to take one variable with empty. After that we can bind it. Without taking this empty variable, if you are trying to bind text plus is equal to, it may give you an error, right? Definitely whenever there is a process of concatenation, you have to initialize a variable with empty. After that we can do plus equal to plus equal to plus equal to operator, right? Here the first question, iterate this, how many number of elements are there in the loop? First of all, I'm able to see 5 elements, so I understand that my loop should be iterated 5 times. My loop should iterated 5 times. How do we know the total number of elements? Because we are able to see the array. Physically I'm able to see the array. I can able to say there are 5 elements in the array. Sometimes the array may come from database now, the array may come from some third-party services, but in this point of time, how can we identify how many number of elements are there in the array? This is one of the big problems here. So definitely in this point of time, we have to be very careful. And what is the best thing here to find the total number of elements in the array? If you can check this, there is a property. Subjects is an array. STBG subjects to this array. We have a property called length is the property. Always you have to use the length property. Length is predefined. By using this length property, we can understand how many number of elements are there in the array. This will give you the total number of elements, simply says. Now, let me write this console.log. I'm just going to write console.log here. I'm just printing this. Can you see the length of the array will be printed on the screen to you? Not on the screen, on the console. Now, can you check this? The total number of elements are of the array is 5 now. Now, can you check this? I think I'm able to say 5 in the console. Yeah, this is what exactly, and this is the number 5. There are 5 number of elements are there. You can reduce the number of elements from the array. I'm reducing the number of elements just now 2. Refresh, now you are getting 2. You can add more elements like this, JSON. I'm going to add something called React. Now refresh the page. There are 7 elements are there in the array. Can you see the length is a predefined property? By using this property, we can identify the total number of elements of the array. Total number of elements of the array. Actually says it's an array, but it's a special type of object, guys. An array itself an object. Actually, in JavaScript point of view, everything is an object, including a variable. Also, they will say it's an object in JavaScript point of view. That's why it is an object-based programming language. Okay. Now I understand that how many times I have to repeat the loop by using the following property. This property is saying me how many times the loop should get iterated. It's easy for me. So if you can know how many number of elements are there, definitely I won't write a for loop. So in this for loop, we know for every loop there are 2 points should be required. One is starting point I'm taking my starting point equal to 0. Why I am taking with 0? Array index start with 0, and array values are accessed with the help of positions only. Na? So for example, if you want to access the HTML, the first is nothing but 0. Na? Now we have to write like this, right? Subjects of 0, something like we have to write it, right? So exactly, subjects of 0, we have to write like this. Understand, right? This is the reason we have to start with where I equal to 0. Now you can write this I less than subjects dot length. This length should be dynamic here. We know where to start. Definitely every array should start with 0, and it should be end with the total number of elements. I mean, we have to tell to the array, the loop should be iterated how many number of elements you have in the array. That many times the loop should get iterated. Now this is going to be I plus plus. This is going to be I plus plus. Loop is incrementing. Now generally, how can we print the value? Now we know that subjects of I, subjects of 0, subjects of 1, subjects of 2, something like this we are taking, right? Subjects of 3, subjects of 4, something we take. But in this point of time, we are passing the value of I dynamically. Every time I value is 0, first 0 will be printed. Second time loop incremented, I value 1, 1 will be printed. I value 2, 2 will be printed. I value 3, 3 will be printed. Like this, total number of elements. How many times loop will be iterated? How many number of elements are there? That many times loop is iterated. If there is no eighth element here, eighth element is not there, automatically 8 less than or equal to 7 condition will be false. I think you will exit the loop automatically, something like this. Now you can see I am writing this document dot write document dot write. Yes, I'm printing, or else you can do in the console dot log also, no problem. I'm just printing this. Now you can check this, refresh the page. Can you see you are able to get the subjects now? All the subjects you are able to get it. Now I want to take this into the following variable. Now what you can do, now let me take this following thing into like this. Txt plus equal to, I'm taking this as a ul, right? So this is ul. At the end of it, I am closing the UL. Remember, UL should not be into the loop. UL is one. In that UL, we are having many number of LI items, right? Those LI items should be into the loop. That's why we will write like this. So here, what we want to do, every li txt plus equal to, this is you have to keep into the loop. You cannot keep the ul into the loop because there is one ul. In this ul, there are many list items. Those list items also should be into the loop. Now this is going to be li. 1 minute, guys. Just wait for a minute. Had a small call. They're calling continuously. Sorry for that. Sorry guys. So now you can see here in the loop every item we have to iterate, every item. So we see the same story here. Can you see the below program? Here we repeated the loop with a static value. Can you see subject of 0, subject of 1, subject of 2, and something like this we repeated with a static value. Now what we need to do, we have to take a dynamic value. Everything should be an li, definitely the same. But yesterday, what we did today and what we are doing, same subjects of we written 0, 1, 2 like this, right? But today we are writing subjects of. So that's it, only one line. So here written almost all 4 lines because you have 4 subjects. Now I'm not writing 4 lines, only one line. Line will be repeated every time I value is incremented. Now you can check. Oh, so I think we have to print the value, right? Once this txt is generated, get the element by id. Document dot get element by id. What is the id of it, guys? Here we can take inner html equal to txt. What is the id we taken on the top of the page? There is a div sub, right? Let us take this sub of something. You can just take sub of inner html. Now you can just refresh the page. Now you can see all the subjects are listed on the screen, right? So we are not doing anything. So we are just writing a fixed logic. This logic is forever common if you want to iterate the subjects like this. Now you can reduce the subjects. Now I'm reducing the subjects here. Now you can see there are only two subjects. Now if you can refresh the page, you will get only two only. But yesterday, what happened? If you add more subjects, you have to add more number of lines. If you remove the subject, you have to remove the number of lines of code. But today, our logic is fixed logic. We don't want to change the logic. Remember, the only thing we are taking here, this array is static. Array is the static array, but tomorrow this array may come from database to you. If the array is coming from database, then the logic is the same. Logic is same. Then we will tell you how can we get this array from a database by using a service, right? So that we can see later. But right now, whatever the logic we written, this logic is completely flexible. Flexible logic this is. Exactly. So this is how we can iterate the things. Okay, this is one way of iteration. Let me show you another example. Guys, the same you can do by using while loop also if you want. Seriously, let me do one thing. The same I'm copying and I want to do by just using the same while loop. If you want while loop or do while loop, if you use anyone, I'm not changing anything. Can you see what I'm going to do exactly here? I just want to make the logic something like this. Right now you can check this. Right now you can go there and just I'm taking this in place of this. We know while loop syntax, right? Let us remove the initialization outside. Initialization will be always outside, and the incrementation always should be inside of the loop. Definitely, always we have to take inside the loop. That's all. In place of this for loop, just write the while loop. That's all, right? Exactly. The same output will be displayed. Nothing difference is there. Now you can see same subjects are displayed. Nothing difference, right? Now, okay, up to here we are very nice and we don't have any problem, right? Okay, very good. So now can you see, guys, this is an iteration process. Remember, this is going to be very, very important, guys. Forever you are going to talk about this, okay? Right. Let us take a variable users is equal to an users and empty array this is. So generally we don't have any records in the users array. This is an empty. Can you see? In this, I am going to take object, first object. Now let us see. You see this is very important. I'm writing, taking something called from. It will become a last name colon something like this. And here city colon HYD. Okay, right. Or you want to take pin code also? Yeah, you can take a pin code. I'm taking some common format here. You want to take anything? It's of your choice. Okay, right. Okay, guys, this is what exactly we are taking. Right, right, fine. Check this, guys. Yeah, one object is there. I'm taking second object also. Let us go there. I want to take something called reliability Teja. I want to take some more record here. Teja. Right. I want to take one more record like this. And let me take something called right. So same some number. You can take some dynamic. I mean some random data, but we are taking statically data right now. But after some time, we will get this data dynamically from the database, guys. Okay, right. Don't worry about it. So this is exactly we have three records. Okay. Every record is an object. First of all, always don't try to do anything. First print the data, console.log of users. I'm just printing the data called users. Now you can refresh the page. If you can refresh the page, can you see it is printing? What is printing in the console? Can you see? It is printing something in the console. We have three because it's an array actually. Array having three elements. Now you can check this. This is an array of length 3. Total number of elements are 3 in the array. The first element is an object, second element is an object, third element is an object. For example, I want to access this second element. How can we access the second element here? In this point of time, try to see, you have to come there. If you can take 0, you will get the first element in the console. Can we go and refresh the page? Now you can see I'm getting the first element as an object actually. If you want to get the second element, then what you can do? Now I have to take one. I have to take something called refresh the page. Now you can check this from and Teja. and Ravi. I want to get the first name Ravi and Kumar. Ravi Kumar, I want to get it. Actually, these are the objects. In this point of time, see, we have two ways of there. Actually, every element we are able to get it, but every element is an object. Remember, it's not a string. So how can we access the object value? Now you can see. Now I don't want to print all these things. Now you can see I'm printing the third element. Now you can see this is the third element: Ravi, Kumar, city, and pin code. Now, in this, if you want to get the first name, can you see guys here? Dot FIRST first name. You can write like this. Now, can you see? I'm getting only the Ravi. This is the way of accessing the object value. This point is very important. Keep it in mind. So now I'm taking one more thing guys here. First name is okay. Now you want to access the last name also? Yeah, you can go with access this as the last name also. Now you can check this. Last name is also printed. You want to access pin code? Now you can check this. This is I'm just going with the pin code. Now you can see we're getting the pin code also. You want to access city, two of city like this. Can you see all the information of the third user we are able to get it. This is an array of objects. This is an array of objects. But in this point of time, how can we display all these things in one shot? But if you have right now, I have three objects. So this is one object information. If you have 100 objects in the array, will you print like this 100 times? 100 into 4, 400 lines of code will you write here? This is only one object. One object. Unfortunately or fortunately, your array contains 1000 objects then. What do you do then? Will you write this 1000 times? This is not a good solution, right? Yes, we have to think about it, guys. What shall we do in this point of time? Definitely we have to iterate the data, right? Definitely we have to iterate the data. Or else you see, this is the way of accessing object value. Do you know guys here, I want to write one more scenario here. This is one way of accessing. You are able to access the first name now. You know one thing, we can access this into an array way also. Do you know? We can access the object value like this also. This is also valid. Now you can check this. Both will print Ravi and Ravi. Can you see? Object values are accessed by using dot operator, by using square bracket also. Remember, this point is very, very important. You can use like this also. Actually, square bracket denotes an array, but in our JavaScript, we can use a square bracket for accessing object value, and we can use this for accessing array value also. Exactly, guys. Let's keep it in mind. This is very important thing. Exactly what exactly this is and all you need to remember. The way of accessing. Now, how can we iterate this data? We are having array of objects, right? Let me iterate this data. What I want to do here. Now, I'm taking the for loop. Okay, try to see guys here for loop where I equal to 0. I less than users dot length means the total number of users in the array and I plus plus. Now you can check this. I'm repeating this into the loop. I'm not printing anything. I'm printing something in the console dot log of. I'm printing users of I first record, second record, third record, fourth record. I'm not printing anything. Now can you see? He's giving the first record and as well as second record as well as third record. You want to add one, but every record is an object. Every record is an object. I added two more. Now you can see all the two more is coming in. So how many number of data you are having? You are getting all this information by definitely we are getting complete information like this. Now check this. We are getting three records. I want to access the first name. Now you can see I'm going to access this as a FIRST first name. Refresh the page. Now you can see all the first name of every record is coming. Wrong, Teja, and Ravi. So you want to access the last name. Let me concatenate here with some space here. I want to take here users of I. Can you see users of I dot last name also I want to access. Now can you see first name and last name printed Ramapuri, Teja Live and Ravi Kumar. The values are getting printed. So you want to concatenate one more one? Yeah, let us concatenate this here. I just want to take some space. Pin code and users of I of pin code. Users of I means the record 1, record 2, something. First record, second record, third record, and everything is printing in the console, right? You want to print the same into the screen in a HTML table. Then in this point of time, we have to take the concatenation operator, guys. Directly it is not possible. Now, can we see what exactly I want to do here? Now you can check this, guys, exactly. So where txt equal to an empty. Txt is equal to an empty. Here now I'm taking txt plus equal to, we have to take table. Can you see guys how we are doing? Earlier we used ul li, but this time I'm using table because I want to display all these things into a tabular format. Now let us see how actually we are not creating table in html, we are creating the table in javascript. This is exactly the table element I am taking as a string. I will bind this data as an inner HTML. Now you can see. So in this txt, you can take any variable. I am taking txt now every time. If you don't like txt, you can take some other variable. Yeah, that is of your class completely. You can take it. Right? Okay. Now this is going to be a tr open, tr close. In the first tr, I have to take some headings, guys. Let us take some headings. th and th. Let me take this as first name, first first name. I want to take one more thing as last name. Let me take this as a last name. The headings, last name. I want to take this as a city. I want to take this as a pin code. I'm taking the just headings only. I'm not going to take anything pin code. Can you see? This information we are binding into the JavaScript. Now I'm going to refresh the screen. Are you getting any output on the screen? There is no output on the screen, but you have something, right? You want to bind this document.get element by ID. First of all, we have to use it. In this get element by ID, I'm just going to add the sub dot inner HTML equal to txt, the variable you have to bind it. Now you can see headings will be displayed on the screen. Headings only, not on the data. Where is data? We have to repeat the data inside the table. Can you see? This is a variable and this is a variable. After headings, the data should be repeated. Headings should not be repeated. Headings one time if you can get enough. Now the data should be get repeated. Let us see how can we repeat the data. First, I'm taking the same where I equal to 0, I less than or equal less than users dot length 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 and I plus plus. Understand? This is exactly inside of it. I am going to take txt plus equal to, I want to repeat every object, right? There are three objects now. Three objects and three rows. Now let us take a tr open, tr close. So tr open, tr close. This tr repeated three times. Can you go and check this in the console? You can see I'm going to show you. Just refresh the page. This is our table now. I'm refreshing. Can you see in this table there are t body? Okay. Can you see there are three TRs are repeated. One TR is for headings and next TR, next TR, next TR because you have three records. Only record this empty TRs only printed. Inside of it, every row will contain TD now. Let me take TD open and TD close. TD open, TD close. In this, I want to display the first name. Let's concatenate this. Users of I dot firstname first name. Now you can go and check this. I'm printing the first name. Can you see guys here? Ram Teja. The next TD, I want to display this as a last name, LASTNAME, last name. Next one is going to be something called city. Exactly. This is going to be city. In the next one, you can take this. This is going to be pin code. Exactly, these are the keys of every object. User first. This is going to be first user printed, second loop, second user printed, third loop, third user printed. Is there any fourth user? There is no fourth user. If fourth user is there, fourth user is also going to be printed on the screen. For example, now you can refresh the page. I'm getting all the records properly. Now if you can add one more record, now you can see I'm going to add one more record. Let's take this as 6 lakhs 25, something like this. I'm taking this some pin code, whatever it may be. CHBNI. So let's take something like this. Some values I'm just going to take here. Static values. Now you added a extra two more records. We don't know how many records will be there, right? Just we added the two more records. Now if I refresh the page, oh, what happened? Something went wrong. Syntax error. I think here semicolon is missed. Every object separated with semicolon, guys. That is mandatory. Right now, you can refresh the page. Now you can see without changing any logic, all the records you have added, right? Those records are getting automatically here. Exactly, guys. This is what exactly we have to think. This is the way of adding the data dynamically, guys. Here, right? This type of programs you are going to write in the real time. Very simple. Hello world. Welcome to PH. Welcome to JavaScript. These are not going to write by you in the in the real time. This data we are taking statically right now, but tomorrow this data will come from database. This data will come from database. In this point of time, you have to get it. I will show you one more scenario if you want. You can see I want to get COVID-19 information. There is a coronavirus API with me. I have. I will show you the data. Can you see what is the data we are having here? This is the very simple 5 records we are having, and we are able to understand this data very neatly. But you can see sometimes you will get a huge number of records. Then in this point of time, what you will do? Let me show you the summary of the COVID-19 API here. And this is the API summary. I will just show you. Can we see how big the data is here? Can you see, guys? This is an array of objects. Remember, this is an array of objects. Can you see how big the data is here? In this point of time, let me show you in a detailed manner of this data. JSON stack HUR. Don't worry. I just want to show you the data. Can you see? And let me make the UR. Now the data is very clear. Now you can see the countries. Now if I expand these countries, can you see this is country 1, country 2. Everyone is an object. Square bracket denotes object now. In the square bracket we are having an object. Can you see the same, guys? Here we have square bracket. This square bracket contain object 1, object 2, object 3. Here also we have countries is the here our object is users. Our array is users. Here an array is countries. This is the countries array. In this countries array, you can see lot of things are there. Lot of objects are there. Now you can expand this. What is this? Is Afghanistan. Key codes. We are having first name, last name, city, country. But this is containing country, newly confirmed, total confirmed, new deaths, and total deaths. Everything information was there. But our array contain 4 keys here. Only 4 keys. First name, last name, city, and pin code. This each and every array, this is 0, and this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. We are having only 4 records, but you can see almost all 198 countries are there here, guys. If you can bit go down, almost all 191 countries data is there here. See, this is real time. But I given you a small scenario, guys. That is what exactly the scenario you are able to see, right? This is very simple situation I given to you. So we have only 4 to 5 records of data only. We don't have much records here, right? Exactly. This is what the way of doing the data. In some other situation, I will show you how can we get this JSON data. This is some kind of data which is related to COVID API. I want to display all this data into a tabular format. I want to display all this data into a tabular format. How can we display all this data into a tabular format? We are able to see the data of every record real time, in the sense we cannot get 3-4 records. We can get lakhs of records, thousands of records also. In this point of time, everybody should know how can we access the things. Understand, guys? Here, this is what very important, guys. We have to keep it in mind always. Okay, right. Okay, now, right. So this is a good thing, guys. Here, right. So I think this is the way of iterating data, guys. I want to tell you one more thing. In place of it, we are using for loop now. You can use while loop also, guys. Here you can use do while loop also. We can use it, whatever it may be, guys. Okay, right. This is the way of accessing the data from an array. Right. So here the next concept is, guys, here we have to discuss about array methods. Now we seen the iteration of an array. If it is a simple array, if it is an array of arrays, if it is an array of objects, whatever it may be, this is going to be done. Now I want to give you one small example also, guys. Assignment, and try to do this assignment as well, but you don't need to worry about it. Now I'm going to take an array. Try to see, guys, this is an array, and you can try to implement. This is containing array of objects now I will give you array of arrays. Now you can check this, guys. Here I'm just keeping this everything in comment. Keep it in mind, this is all commented. Now this is an assignment for you. Take this and try to implement. If you didn't understand, let me know. I will help you tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Let us take this as an assignment. that subjects is equal to, I'm writing an array, let me see guys here, subjects array. In this earlier, we taken HTML, CSS, JavaScript, something like this. Now, can you see this time I'm going to take an array 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. In this, I'm going to take some subjects HTML. I'm taking something called CSS. I'm taking guys here. You can take anything of your choice completely. So I'm taking this as a JavaScript. You can take this as a JSON, Ajax, something like this. I'm going to take this objects like this Ajax. Okay. Done. Here I'm taking some other technologies, PHP. This is going to be Java. This is going to be Python. Okay. If I want to take some other technologies like MySQL, Apache, SQL Server, something like this. Okay. Finally, here also I want to take some more list. Remember, this is an array of array, but previously you did array of object. But this is an array of array. If the data is in an array of array, how can we do this, right? Okay. So here, what I want to give you, let me take AWS, right? I want to take Azure, Azure, some cloud technologies I'm writing. Okay. Otherwise, data science also I want, right? Science, AI, something like this. I did it. These are the technologies you are having. What you need to do, these are the subjects. Everything should be printed into ULLI. Okay? UL and UL. You have to take an UL and you have to take this, and everything should be printed into the LI. Every subject. It is an array of array, but you have to do like this. Try to do. How can we iterate these subjects into ULLI? Everything should become like this, guys. Here at the end of the day, your output should be like this: UL and UL. All the subjects we have iterated, right? So after iterating, every subject will be coming into an ULLI like this. So this is HTML, this is Java, like this. All the category, four things are there, right? All the things should be completed. This is Java, and this is going to be AZU or Azure, something like this. Right? I have four arrays. Every array contains three elements, four elements, five elements also. But those elements we need to print there, guys. Here, let us check this. How can we print all these values there? Okay, right. So try to iterate the logic. If you guys are having any doubts, let me know. I can help you. Okay, right. The next concept is, guys, here array methods. Why these methods actually, right? For example, I just want to tell you, I want to find whether a specific element is there in the array or not. Array means it's a group of elements. Generally these elements will be come from database or server somewhere around. When we are getting lot of records, in this lot of records I want to identify whether the specific record is there or not. How can we identify? There is a method. We are getting lot of records from the DB. I want to sort the records in ascending order. I want to sort the records in descending order. There is a method. I want to split the array into two or three partitions. Yeah, there is a method. How can we split the array? How can we find whether an element is available in the array or not? How can we sort the elements in ascending order or descending order? I want to add an element to an array programmatically. Now we are adding these elements manually. We are adding all these elements. No, sir, I want to add elements to an array programmatically, sir. How can we add array elements programmatically? Right? So all these things, we have to filter the data, we have to clean the data, whatever it may be, guys. Here I want to merge the array values, and everything will be done by using array methods. A lot of methods are there, iteration methods are there, sorting methods are there. And how can we iterate the array data? There are a lot of things are there, right? So these methods I will discuss tomorrow session, guys. Here, okay, now? Right. So up to here, and without fail, try to complete this assignment. I will discuss the remaining things tomorrow. I don't want to start it right now. Definitely, all the array methods tomorrow, one category of methods, and the next day we will discuss some other methods, guys. I think maybe three more sessions we can take to continue to complete the arrays, right? Right. So please let me know, guys, if you have any doubts here. Carry on.